Hey dudes, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to build this awesome sugarcane farm that you see behind me. It makes stacks upon stacks every hour. This thing can be expanded to your heart's wish. You can put multiple next to each other and make them as long as you want. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay guys, so I set up ourselves a platform here. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, and it doesn't have to be exactly this long. You can make it as long as you want, and you can put as many of these flying machines next to each other as you want. But for the sake of this video, we're going to keep it fairly small so it doesn't take up too much time. So the only thing you need to worry about is this area. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. It needs to be 11 blocks wide because the flying machine can only reach 9 blocks this way, and the flying machine takes up 2 spaces this way. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start on one of your ends and build just like that, a little triangle, a little corner piece, if you will. So the next thing you're going to want to do is place an observer going that way into a furnace. Coming out of the furnace, you're going to want to place a repeater on 1 tick, and that's all you're going to want to do for that side. Now on the other side, we're going to invert that corner piece and go exactly the opposite direction. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place a furnace, a block of your choice, and another repeater going this way on 1 tick. Okay, the next thing we're gonna want to do is construct this flying machine. For this flying machine, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to start by placing an observer coming off of that repeater like that. Then a sticky piston, a slime block, and 2 temporary blocks, and place an observer coming out of the slime block like so. That's all connected to this furnace. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place a sticky piston on the side of that slime block like that, and place a slime block going in between those two. So now you got your whole entire flying machine, and it's going to fly all the way to this end, repeat the signal, and send it all the way back, and it will stop here. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build up 9 blocks in this direction. And once you reach 9 blocks, that's where you're going to want to stop. And that's the maximum amount of blocks that this little flying machine can pull off to the side. Okay, so now that we have the flying machine constructed, now it's time to figure out where we need to put the area to get the signal to start this mechanism. This is going to sense when the sugar cane is done growing, so it's gonna come all the way right here, and we're gonna place an observer on this block that's facing down 1 block above the slime, so it can sense when the sugar cane is fully grown. And what you're gonna do now is you're gonna place redstone going down from this observer right into this repeater, so it can send the flying machine off when it's fully grown. Okay, so now it's time to build ourselves the minecart collecting system. So I already have a hole dug here. I moved it from the previous clip, but you're gonna want to start it right after the slime right here. Dig 2 blocks down, and then dig as far as you want until you get to the place where you place this. And you're gonna want to dig it down 2 deep right in front of the observer, and then you're gonna go over 9 blocks to the end of the slime blocks so that you can collect all the sugarcane that you knock down. So now that you got this, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to place rails going all the way down to that end. Okay, so you're gonna want to start by starting on the end with all of these slime blocks. You're gonna want to hurry and break those back ends, and go ahead and place you a line of redstone like so. Okay, then once you got that redstone right there, you're not going to want to place the rails yet, but you're going to want to go another 5 blocks or 6, and place another line of redstone blocks. And you're going to do this every 6 blocks or however many blocks you really want. It doesn't really matter too much as long as the minecart is able to keep going till it reaches the end. Okay, so now that we have the redstone, what we're going to want to do is place our rails. We're going to want to do this one line at a time. So place yourself a power rail on every single one of these to conserve power rails because they're kind of expensive. Then you're going to want to put one more power rail at the end. That will come in handy later for when we put in the hopper collecting system. And you're just going to repeat this all the way down the line until you have this entire thing filled. Okay, so the first thing you want to do as soon as you get all these rails placed is break all of these blocks where you don't have redstone blocks. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place a hopper going down into this block like so. This is going to be important for what we're going to do next. Okay, next we're going to put the powered rails back in their places like this. Okay, now that we got all of our rails placed, it's time to come down to our hopper line. Now what we're going to do is place a slab over one block and down one. So we're just gonna place ourselves a redstone comparator coming out of that hopper, and then we're gonna place a block that comparator goes into, place a redstone torch on top, place another block and a repeater going into that block, and that's basically gonna power this rail until something goes into that hopper. Now we're just gonna repeat this all the way down the line. Okay, now that we have all of that placed with the other hoppers, what we're gonna do is build our little storage area. So the first thing you want to do is place blocks along this whole bottom place, acting as temporary blocks, so you can put hoppers going down like so. Then you'll just break all these blocks again. Okay, now you're gonna want to grab yourself some chests, and we're gonna build a line of chests going from this end 2 chests tall all the way to this end. Okay, so now that we have all our chests placed, what you're going to want to do is come behind the chests and place hoppers going into the chests along both of the rows like that, and just repeat that for all of them. Okay, now that we got our hoppers going into the chest, we have our storage room complete. You can change this however you want to fit your base. Okay, so now what we're going to want to do is place our strips of grass going to that end. So we're going to separate them separate one block, 2 by each other, separate another block, 2, and separate another block, 1 more. And we're going to build these strips all the way to the other end. Okay, once we got all that grass in place, what we're going to want to do is grab our half slab of your choice. I chose smooth because I love smooth stone. So now we're going to place these along the gaps in between the grass. Okay, now before we go any farther, what we're going to want to do is break this end of blocks right here. And what we're going to want to do is grab ourselves a hopper minecart and place one on every single row of rails to be able to collect all of our items. And then you just fill these all back up like so. Okay, so now we're gonna have to place water sources inside of each one of these slabs. This is to prevent the water from breaking all the rails from below. So what you're gonna want to do is, if you're in survival, put a infinite water source really nearby, because you're gonna need to place a water source at every single one of these blocks. So it's gonna take a minute, but it's definitely worth it in the end, and you'll just fill up all of these slabs. Okay, now we got all of our water in place, and as you can see, none of the rails are broken. So now we're gonna plant our sugarcane, and that's the last thing you gotta do, just plant it on all of the grass. Okay, so now that we got all of our sugarcane planted, what we're gonna want to do is place an immovable block barrier wherever the slime will touch, and also a barrier to keep all the sugarcane that is harvested inwards. So my favorite block to use that's immovable is a leaf block. and you'll go along this back area wherever the slime will touch. So just go along this back edge like this, all the way down to this area like that. Okay, and then you're also gonna have to do that on top as well. And then you'll also put it along the top of here as well. You can't really put anything in the middle, which kind of sucks, but you just kind of have to deal with it. Okay, I actually just realized that we don't need this last row of sugarcane. It's not going to be able to be harvested. So, I'll replace it with stone because we do not need this area. I'd probably remove the water from that one as well before doing it, just in case the rails decide to break, because the slime box is only going to reach to here. So now that we got that, we're going to place a layer of glass, then a layer of leaves, like so, and then another layer of glass. This is whatever you want to do. Just wherever the slime blocks are going to touch, you're going to want a layer of leaves or immovable blocks. So go along that whole edge like so, and then just glass it up. Okay, and one last thing before this farm is finished is you're gonna want to place yourself a layer of leaves behind here like so, so that any straggling things will not fly out the back like you can see here. Okay, and then once you have all of that, the farm should be complete. It's that simple. You could put as many of these right next to each other. I figured that if you put a block on the end of this like so, you can put another one exactly reversed of this on the other side, and you can make this even wider, and then just have 2 by 2 keep going forever. You can even have them as long as you would like. And that's basically the whole farm right there for you guys. So this is a really simple farm. It's not too bad. And as you have seen in my videos, this is how I mine my sugarcane, a lot of the time by hand. But you can also automate it. And I used to have this in one of my servers, and I was getting double chests on double chests of sugarcane, no problem. So if you have a lot of these, you will have no short supply of sugarcane. So now to see it in action. Okay, so I turned up the random tick speed to 100, so now we should be able to see this farm in work. So once the sugarcane is fully grown, once that end stalk grows up to the top, it will go along mining all of this. The minecarts will pick it up and put it in these chests down here. Okay, so this sugarcane is about to grow, and all of our sugarcane is pretty much fully grown. This one will always be the last one to be cut because it makes a double back. So this one will always be the most accurate to be able to measure when all of these are fully grown. So some of them may not be fully grown by the end of it, but it all depends. So here it goes. And it will just act as a scythe going down the whole thing, breaking all of the sugarcane. And it's really satisfying to watch, and if you catch it while it's doing it, you're pretty lucky because it only happens every once in a while. So yeah, you don't have to keep it in mind. It's fully automatic, and all of the sugarcane is deposited down here in these chests. So it looks like we got an okay amount. I had a much bigger farm than this in my survival world, but this is a really good farm as long as you make it super long and have 2 next to each other. It is really nice. I made mine about 3 times this length and had 2 of them right next to each other, and I had like 12 double chests, more than 12 double chests full of sugarcane, and I had so much sugarcane I didn't even know what to do with it. Okay, this is like the 12th attempt of me trying to do an outro. You guys won't see it, but I am starting to get annoyed. So, yeah, I'm just gonna end it now. Just saying, if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, please hit that thumbs up. And please subscribe because it helps me continue making videos like this for you guys. It takes me a long time to do those Let's Play videos, so it would be greatly appreciated if you hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Well, anyway, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys stick around to see some more of my future videos. Well, see you later and have a wonderful day.